It sounds fun, and tonight will be a very special evening for former president and humanitarian Jimmy Carter. A concert to celebrate the music lover's upcoming 100th birthday will be held at Atlanta's iconic Fox Theater. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Carter Center's philanthropic work around the world. Joining me now is Dr. Larry Cook. He's a presidential historian and friend of President Carter to talk more about tonight's festivities and the former president's love of music. And it runs deep. How has music played such a big role in Carter's political career and his life overall?
Well, first of all, we're very excited about the president turning 100 years old. This is certainly a milestone in history that's never been reached before. And yeah, you know, music and the arts have always played a part in Jimmy Carter's life. We credit his school teacher at the Plains High School, Julia Coleman, for educating her students on the arts and on classical music and other types of music, and learning to memorize lyrics and recognize composers by their songs. And so I think it started there, and also him growing up in a church-oriented society where music, of course, is very important in churches. So it started with him as a young person and just carried on through his life. President Carter's had the ability to grab things that grab ideas that other people have not thought of, and he certainly thought of how music was so important in bringing people together, and decided to use that in his campaign.
So important and at the center of so much of what he did, and even how he carried himself. What was his favorite genre of music? Was there one that he preferred over others?
You know, I think he embraces all kinds of music, just like he embraces all kinds of people, and that kind of ties in. I know he's very fond of classical music. He's very fond of jazz music. But I think he really has a love and appreciation for all types of music, and as I said, as he does for all types of people, and it goes together very well.
He had a lot of musical friends, from Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Greg Allman. Do you have a favorite Jimmy Carter music story?
Well, he's mentioned himself about when Willie Nelson came to the White House, and we all kind of know that story, and how Willie Nelson supposedly smoked pot up on the roof of the White House, and President Carter has mentioned that story several times. Another favorite is when he met Bob Dylan, and he immediately started to recite the lyrics to Bob Dylan's songs to him, and I think Dylan was quite surprised at that, and so yeah, there's obviously a ton of good stories there, and how important music has been in not only his life, but also his political career.
Lots of stories will be shared and celebrated as we get closer to his 100th birthday. He has been in hospice for months now. Have you heard, Dr. Cook, how he's doing?
Well, any condition reports on him come through the Carter Center. We check on him frequently as a friend. We call there, and so I know what everybody else has heard, from the Carter Center. But he's just a wonderful person. I'm sure he's excited about this milestone, I would think, of turning 100, and he's always brought people together with his music, and I think it's just great that he's still doing that today with these concerts that are scheduled for tonight in Atlanta, for what's going to be going on October 1st, right on his birthday in Plains. He's still bringing together people with music.
Yeah, music moves people in so many different ways. Celebrating Jimmy Carter coming up on this 100th birthday, a true test of resilience. Dr. Larry Cook, thanks for sharing some of the musical background and history with us.
Thanks for having me on to talk about my friend. I always appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.